Hello? We should have audio now.
Yeah, hello, hello.
Mr. Albert Cunningham?
Yep.
Do we
that's
have
good.
audio? We have audio. All right, sorry. So the
Nice.
reason that happened, dude, is because I had to create a new set or a new scene basically for the podcast specifically. And so I just forgot to add the audio source. So, you know, that's I don't know. I'm a content creator, not an audio engineer. That's all I gotta say, dude.
All right. So I'm getting all my stuff situated here.
No worries. We
All
got
right, that should be
ourselves
good.
12 whole viewers and 3 likes. We're still at a what percentage like rate now? 25%? 20%? 25%? It's good enough, dude. If 25% of the people like it, I'm down with that. By the way, that message I sent yesterday on Ubisoft didn't work. Oh, dang. That stinks, Albert. How did you like the summit yesterday? I wanted to start there. Oh my god, it's Channing Tatum.
Yo, Toucan Tunes, that's me.
Now this isn't the face reveal for
That's
Steven
true.
Militia. I mean, you've been on you've been on podcasts before, man. We've done. All right, so we originally did like what 3 or 4 of the animated one where we had like the animated. It wasn't animated. It was like just pictures
Yeah.
that were drawn by Stacy. And every time one of us would talk, I would just put a different picture on the screen. It was super low budget.
No, it looked awesome though. It was like we were sitting at a table and then it was like different POV cameras, like a podcast video or something. It was nice.
Yes,
the
Xbox
yeah,
avatars.
dude, the Xbox avatars. It was awesome. Had like the wall of controllers behind us.
I still have. Wait, over here. Where?
Yep.
Oh, it's reversed. This way. Right there. I got it. I got it. Simji, we're doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
Doing good, doing good.
Also, I need to clear this up for once and for all because me and Stacy had this conversation earlier. I have heard people say Simgi and I say Simg, and I've talked to you so many times, like literally every day for the last month and a half or 2 months, saying Simg, and you never corrected me, but I think it's because you're just a nice guy. So which way is it? Simg or Simgi? I need to know.
It's true.
Scarcity. What's up, guys? It was in Simg's stream earlier.
Simg.
There we go, dude. So I'm saying it right then. All you Simgi people out there, you're saying it wrong.
What's up, Psycho?
Psycho, what's going on, man? Speaking earlier about sending you beats for your channel, he sent me the Discord. I joined. Awesome, dude. Yeah, so go ahead and send me a DM, Scarcity, with, do you have like a, I don't know, what would beats be on? Like, do you have like a some sort of audio application that I can go to and listen to your beats? That'd be cool. At least you didn't call me Sim Guy. How? Okay. How does someone put, I mean, I guess it's a GII Sim Guy. I don't know, man. That's a little out of line, and I would be offended if I was you, Simg. But yeah, Scarcity, send me a link, dude. You can send me a DM. We don't need to be, you sent me a friend request, but on Discord, friends are like, they have access to a lot of information that I don't necessarily want everyone to have, so I usually decline friend requests on Discord. But if you send me a DM, like, as long as we share a common server, you can send me a DM and then we can just, yeah, you can send me a link or whatever. Are the beatbox shirts gonna last for a while? I really want one, but need to wait with the holidays around the corner. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I love that you call them beatbox shirts. It's funny. I would love to. I need to. I need to go right now and claim that that URL, that domain name, because beatbox shirts sounds really cool. Yeah, Albert, the shitbox shirts are definitely a long-term thing. So like I started that with my wife Stacy, and the idea is to build a business that we can sort of work as a family, maybe one day hand down to my son or whatever. So I know that's really weird and far off. He's only like 2. He's about to be 2, but yeah, that was the idea. So yes, it'll be around for a while. We're gonna add some designs to it too. But anyway, Kyle, I had a great time with this summit this week, and I told you before this summit went live that I thought it was going to be a really shitty summit. I thought that people wouldn't want to play it because the cars are too expensive, and I don't know, it just like it didn't scream a lot of players, and I think I was right, but I had a blast last night.
Yeah, it was really fun. Something new. I mean, there was only one track that got repeated.
I think so.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something new and different. It's fun to do. They were frustrating, like the rally one on the side of the mountain. That one's a little frustrating, but I enjoyed it though. It was fun.
Yeah, you actually played that one quite a bit, and you got a really good time on it too.
Yeah, I was having fun with it.
Yeah, I definitely had fun with that. I don't know. I thought the events were better this week than they have been in the past. Unfortunately, the rewards are still garbage, dude.
Yeah, they need to do something about that for sure.
Stacy said I forced him into SimG.
Oh no, Simji said, I got a question for Steven. How did you start getting into racing games? Oh, so Stacy said that you forced me into it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I see. I thought she was talking about the naming, which is so far. I'm like out of touch with the comments. That's all it is. Don't mind me, dude. But yeah,
I can answer that though. How I got started in racing games. I always played racing games on like PlayStation and stuff. I grew up playing like Driver and Midnight Club. I didn't play Need for Speed until I think it was Most Wanted, and I had that on my PSP, dude. That's when I started doing that. And then also like I've just always been into like cars and motorsports, like motocross and different things like that. Used to watch the X Games and stuff all the time for like the motocross, and I played a lot of MX vs ATV.
Yes.
All that stuff growing up. MX vs ATV, I probably have like the most hours in any game ever on that.
More than Minecraft?
Yeah, and then I got an Xbox. Actually, more than Minecraft? That's hard. We played a lot of Minecraft.
More than Ark?
More than Ark for sure.
More than Destiny 2?
Maybe not Destiny 2. But yeah, so I just kind of grew up playing stuff like that, and then once I got an Xbox 360, I didn't really play racing games. I got hooked on Halo 3.
Yeah.
Played basically only Halo 3 until I got Modern Warfare 2, and then I got hooked on Call of Duty.
Yes.
And then I pretty much only played Call of Duty until I don't know, a few years ago when
like a decade, dude.
Yeah, it's probably about a decade of just only Call of Duty. And then thanks to you, SimG, I'm only playing Call of Duty again.
SimG recently got Steven hooked on what do we call you? We call you Steven Militia? We'll call you Steven.
Sure.
I don't know if we want to talk. I don't know if we talk about the naming fiasco that is your name, but we'll discuss that at a later date. Maybe.
It's fine, dude.
A COD sweat was reborn. Yes. So SimG awakened the COD beast. We've known each other since the original Modern Warfare 2, I think.
Yeah.
That's when you met, you met my brothers first. I have two younger brothers.
I met Jesse online.
Yes, which is
You
super
know,
weird.
yeah, it was weird.
I think we've shared maybe this story with a couple of the close friends, but I think this stream would be a good place to share it. This is a crazy
Yeah.
story. Okay, so like I lived in California, he lived in California. He met my brother online playing Call of Duty, just like a random Call of Duty lobby.
Multiplayer match. He was on my team.
Yes, and you guys talked and then like
We
hooked up.
talked. We partied up after the game because we were both like having fun messing with each other.
Yes, and then you realized that you lived less than a mile away.
Literally, like down the street from my house.
You went to the same school
with his younger brother.
with my younger brother.
Yeah.
So that's how we got.
It was like
acquainted.
It was like 2 weeks of playing Call of Duty with him, and then it was just kind of like, oh hey, like where do you live? And then discussing, and he's like, you don't live there. I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, what school do you go to? I go to this school. He's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, my brother goes to that school. I was like, no way.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and then then I met his brother, and then
You just been
known your
friend
whole
of
family for years.
Yeah, you've been a friend of the family for a long time. We've known each other. So that would be. Let's see. I've known Stacy. Been with Stacy since 2004. So we're going on. Damn, we're about to start year 20. We've been together 19 years this year, but I think we've known each other for 17 years.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I think I was in 8th grade when all that happened.
That's wild. Super wild.
Mhm.
And then tell them how we got started with content together, because I started the channel sort of like, I don't know, I was really done with like the whole like rat race, working the day job thing. I just didn't want to do that anymore, and so I wanted to figure out a way out of that. So I started the channel. The old people. I started the channel to try to get out of that, and then it started taking off a little bit, and I realized that if I wanted it to really become something, I needed a little bit of help. And I don't know, the timing was right, I guess, right? Because
Yeah,
you didn't know anything about editing.
I knew nothing, and I was like, after it was like in between like the COVID stuff that was going on, so I was like in between work and stuff, anyways. And you just kind of asked me, you're like, hey, like, would you be willing to edit the videos for me? And I was like, at first I was so nervous and was like, I don't know, there's like this whole thing that you've created and this and that, and I was like, seems like it all kind of sits like on the editor, because like I'm putting it together and making the video that you have envisioned putting out. Right. So I was like nervous about it, like I don't know. And then I said, screw it, let's do it. Yeah. And then I've been doing it ever since.
I think you learned so fast. Yeah, you did. That Stacy's right. You did say no at first. You're like, nah, it's maybe not for me or whatever. Like you didn't know anything. I forget exactly what you said.
I was just nervous. I was like nervous about it. Like I don't know anything about editing videos. I've never messed with any of this stuff. Like I have no idea. Yeah. And like your channel's growing like crazy. Yeah,
it was right in like the major growth area when the Need for Speed Heat content was going off. And that was like, I was just like, I need to put out more. I need more time to think about ideas and to play the game. And so like, I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to without you. And at the time, I had a full-time job. Like I had an actual, like a career, dude. I don't know. I've never talked about it on stream. I don't think I want to put the information out there, but let's just say like I walked away from a lot of money to come over here and do this for a living and make almost nothing, and then have literally all the time that I want with my family, which was a great decision. But in order for me to get there, I had to have help, and that's where you came in. And dude, you picked it up so fast. Like dude, it was literally like video number 2, you were already like basically at my level of knowledge, because we just like I showed you what I knew.
Before I did it, I went over to your house and you just like showed me like I just watched you edit a video. You're like, so
Hmm.
I do this, like this, like just showing me like how you do things.
Right.
And you're like, all right, I'll send you this stuff, and then you can start on that one. And then I think that's how I started off. I was doing like every other video
Yeah. Yeah.
because you were just yeah. And then yeah, I don't know.
I
And
don't know,
then so
man.
I took what I learned from you, and then
Just kept learning.
Albert said, what do you do to teach yourself to edit? A lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good channels out there that have a ton of amazing tips and stuff on how to make it easier, and then just doing it. I mean, I right now with these daily builds, I do it every single day. I'm editing a video, so just doing it over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Repetitive. Do you? I don't think we've ever taken like a lot of time off. Well, you haven't anyway. I took a week last month and I went to visit my grandparents. But I don't know about you, but like when I take time off of Premiere, that's what we're editing in. I completely forget what it is that I need to do. Like
Yeah,
I go back to like the basics of editing, which is like the razor blade to cut and like the delete button, and that's all I've got. I'm like, I'm lost with transitions, I'm lost with the intro and the music, and I'm like, why isn't this audio on here? How many
yeah,
tracks do I need? Like it's a whole thing. And because I haven't been doing it so long, I'm so spoiled. It's a mess. I don't even want to take it over. I would never want to take it over again. So if something happens to you, I am in trouble, and I'm gonna have to like I gotta like hire someone else to come in. And yeah, I would never, it would be hard to pick up for sure.
yeah. It was not the easiest, but just I was like, I think the reason why I put myself so hard on it is because like I was super, like I said, nervous to do it. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure I was doing it as perfect and right as I could. So I was
Yeah.
literally, when I wasn't editing videos, I was watching YouTube videos on how to do certain things and just tips and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, definitely.
you know,
I'm super happy that it worked out. It literally couldn't have worked any better though. Like it's just like the perfect pair. So
yeah, and I'm super grateful for it. So,
yeah.
thank you.
Goliath in the chat, what's going on, man? Is this a podcast? It is. It is. We got some love for Steven in the chat by
Thank you,
Stacy.
Stacy. Stacy kills it too. The
Dude,
thumbnails, man, and
I'm
everything.
I think that that's a secret that
Oh, did I spill the beans?
no, it's not a secret. I'm saying like I think it's not very well known that Stacy does literally all the graphics. Like the overlay you guys are looking at right now, like Stacy just made that in literally like 15 minutes. She just threw the thing together. Like she just everything is so good. She does all the thumbnails. Also, to be fair, because I know some of the thumbnails are not the greatest, they're all my ideas. She does exactly what I'm telling her to do, and sometimes they're just shitty ideas. But the graphics look great. She puts them together, and sometimes she'll tell me like, "Are you sure you want that?" She's like trying to be nice about it. Are you? I don't think that looks good.
Yeah,
Yes.
she kills it.
Albert, that's the other thing. Stacy does all the designs for the shirts. I basically what happened with the shirts is I built I build the car in game, and then we'll take it out of the game, like we'll take a screenshot out of it, and then she'll use that as like the inspiration for the design, and then she hand draws everything on the iPad. So thank you Goliath, appreciate it. um Dude, it's so funny like reminiscing like this, because like the amount of time that's passed that you and I have spoken to each other every single day is crazy. Like
Yeah, it is.
literally every day for the last like at least 5 years for sure.
Yeah,
It's
just
wild.
about.
There's only two other people that I've talked to every single day, well at least for the last 2 years, and that's my son and my wife. So you're like third on the list.
Yeah,
We're a dream team. That's right.
dream team.
Either that, or I've just convinced you guys to follow me in this weird fantasy.
It's a freaking cult leader, dude.
Do I ever get burnt out from churning out content so often? Uh, I will say, I'll answer from my side of things. I will say yes. Uh, I was very burnt out with Need for Speed Heat. I was very burnt out with Need for Speed Unbound, and he said I'm doing this full time and I need constant breaks. Um, yeah, I was very burnt out with Heat. I was burnt out with Unbound, and I can feel a little bit of burnout with Motorfest right now, just only purely because the summits have not been very exciting. This last week, not included. I actually really enjoyed this last summit, but I feel like part of it is that we've sort of accepted this job, let's say. I mean, in reality, we could make content on whatever we wanted, right? We could just I don't know, we could play the virtual Monopoly or whatever and make a video on that. But I think what makes me burnt out on it is playing a game that I don't necessarily want to play, but it's because I need to put out a video on that game. And that's sort of like the balancing act, I would say, between games that are like starting to feel a little dead and games that I actually enjoy playing. Like there was a while there was probably, I don't know, maybe a year. I would say probably a year. I was making content on Need for Speed Heat and I did not want to play the game at all. Like for an entire year I was making videos on it, and as soon as I was done making that video, I would be over here playing Ark Survival because that's the game I wanted to be playing, you know? So I don't know. From my side, yes, burnout does happen, but it's mostly me just getting bored with the game, but then still having to make content on that game. Because, man, I know people are probably thinking, like, they're probably thinking, why don't you just stop that game? Like, just don't make any content on the game. But the issue was the goal of the channel was always to allow me to escape that full-time work for someone else and work for myself, and be able to have this be a business and support the family and support the house and all that. And so you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of what you want to do in order to achieve that goal every month. So that's kind of the answer. But yeah, great question, Goliath. Thank you. What about you? I mean, because I don't know. Do you get burnt out with the editing? I've never asked you that, by the way.
No, not really. I just do it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to do most of the time.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, this is your full-time gig too.
Yeah, just crank it out, dude. Like,
Yeah.
might as well. I mean, like with these daily builds and stuff, you know, like I'll stay up after we play and just get it done that night before I go to bed, just because I'm like, whatever, we'll just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're able to sleep in the next day because you don't have like a 9 to 5 to go to, and so you end up just doing it at night, and it's ready in the morning, and we can just put it out. I mean, the speed at which we put out content, I think is kind of, I don't want to like be too big, like have too big of an ego, but I feel like it's kind of impressive, I would say, because I'm basically playing and coming up with the video idea, the daily builds basically, and then, you know, recording this content, and then you're editing it the same day, like literally within hours of me doing it, you're editing it, and then it's going out within a few hours of you posting it. You post it like late at night. So the amount of time that passes between the concept of the idea of the video and it actually coming out is crazy fast for what they are.
Yeah, especially like this like type of content that we do. Like, obviously, like the big streamers or whatever, like they have editors that'll just
teams.
They'll like build a video off of like what they did in their streams or stuff like that. But this style of content, like you're writing a script, recording a script, grabbing clips for it, doing all this stuff, and then like you send it to me, and then I just kind of like glue the puzzle together and make it all look nice and good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we upload that, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's it's funny, we literally just talked about this last night, how much work it is to just put a summit guide together. Like the summit guides are crazy. Like the summit goes live at like 10, and now it's 10 p.m. because of the time change, but like 10 p.m. my time, That's when we get on, we do the stream. So there's like an hour to an hour and a half of us just kind of like streaming and not necessarily working on the guide. And then from like 11:30 at night until 2, 3, and last night I was up till 4, we are grinding the events, looking for the shortcuts. We are looking for the resets. We're looking for the best pro settings, making sure everything is set up and right, making sure we have all the clips of each of the races, each of the feats. And then after I've got all the clips, I write a full script and then record the full script with all my mess ups and my mistakes and all this stuff. And then I just dump everything on you at like, well, for you it'd be 2 in the morning because you're in California. So I would dump everything on you at like 2 in the morning, and then you have it done. How long did it take you to do that? Like, what time did you go to bed last night?
I got it finished and uploaded about, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay. So almost 2 hours, basically.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, that's so fast.
Yeah.
There's so many edits in that video.
Yeah.
There's so many transitions. They go.
I'm telling you, it's doing the daily builds every day. I can.
Yeah, you're cranking things out.
Yeah, and it's just kind of some memory. Just do it real quick. Just build it together real fast.
Yeah. So anyway, those summit nights, Tuesday nights are nuts for both of us. So I don't know. I don't know about you, but I get pretty tired. Answering a question we had in chat, Harrison wants to know what car we drive in real life. So I'll let you start, and then I'll let them.
Sure. I currently do not drive a car. I have a broken 1995 Honda Civic Del Sol,
which is dope. I wish
it's
we had a
so
picture
sick,
of it.
dude. It's like, yeah, it does look sick, but the engine's blown on it. I bought it that way by mistake. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just kidding. We can talk about it. I bought this car. Okay, so I had a BRZ and I got rid of my BRZ.
So wait, let's start. Wait, back up. We got to talk about how you got the BRZ.
Okay, we'll go all the way back.
Talk about the STI first.
Okay, I had a WRX hatchback.
Oh, it wasn't an STI. That's right.
It wasn't an
WRX.
STI.
Okay. Sorry.
No, but this thing was making all the beans.
Dude,
it was crazy. It was crazy fast.
All the beans, dude.
And that motor blew on that. I believe it was like oil starvation, classic Subaru.
Classic.
And so I got rid of that and I got a BRZ. And then I had a BRZ for a little while. And then I got rid of that. And I got this Honda Civic Del Sol. But when I went to look at it, obviously it was used in 95. Thing looks insane. It's like lower on the ground, it's got nice wheels, it looks perfect condition, everything's
so nice.
Sick on it. I test drive it, things feels great, sounds great, everything's good. I give the guy the money, you know, we signed the pink slip and this and that, everything's going. As I'm driving home, it starts just ticking, just like crazy noises, and yeah, I don't know. The guy made it work to drive around the block like twice, and then it's, I don't know, it was messed up. Anyways, so I don't have a car, but I do have a motorcycle. I have a 2015 Yamaha FZ09.
Nice.
So that is what I drive.
Yeah, that's fun. Stacey said like a time bomb. Yeah, and that bomb went off while it's parked in his driveway, and his mom is pissed ever since.
Yeah. I was just so pissed off that I didn't even fix it. Just been parked in my driveway.
Just leave it.
So mad.
That sucks. One of these days, this channel is gonna be blown up, like real big. We're gonna have tons of money, and we're gonna build the shit out of that car.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It'd be so fun to do. It'd be so fun. Thank you so much, Caleb. His favorite people is us.
Oh, thanks, Caleb.
Thank you so much, Caleb. We had a question just a while back that was like, oh wait, I didn't answer the question about my car. That's all I care about that. Okay,
what car do you drive?
I've had so many cars. And wrecked almost all of them. Not all of my fault, actually. Just one. Yeah, just one. I was gonna say two, but I think it's just one car accident that was my fault. The rest of them were just idiots in California. Like 9. Okay, Stacy. Okay, we don't have to tell them how many cars. I just said a lot. I'm just kidding. So my most recent car, the one I've had the longest, is a Mark 7 GTI, and I love it. It's got a lot of miles now because I used it for work, but still runs good. I have one small issue with it that I haven't figured out yet, and that's the oil and coolant are mixing, and I can't figure out where it is. Anyway, I drive a Mark 7 GTI. It sits in my driveway because of the coolant oil issue, but I also drive the family truck, which is the F-150. So I have like a King Ranch F-150, which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Super nice.
It is actually a really nice.
Even
truck.
though it's a little older, it's like 2009, but it's nice. I like it.
No, it's nice, dude. Big old comfy truck.
War Angel Wolf wants a 2003 Ford truck. He drives a 2003 Ford truck, but it's broken down at the moment. Dude, we are all of our trucks, all of our cars are broken down at the moment.
No, we all got broken cars.
All got broken cars, dude.
I didn't even see Luis was in here. What's up, Luis?
Yeah. Louis B. Luigi. That he actually had a good question too. How did you guys find the balance between quality and quantity of content, or having a new idea midweek? It is quantity and quality is a difficult thing to balance. It sort of has to be balanced with your daily life, more than anything, more than the channel itself, but like your life, like what is going on in your life. Do you have the time? Can you dedicate the time to do it? Because the thing is, like, a video a day is not too much for the algorithm or for YouTube or for your audience. In fact, I think the audience wants a video a day, at least the dedicated audience that really enjoys the content and is there for it. They definitely want a video every day. So if you can do a video every day and it makes sense for you in your life, then that's good. But as far as the quality, you can't let it suffer. It has to be of a certain quality to even make sense doing. Like, literally all the videos have to be of a certain quality, otherwise like there's no point to do them at all. So I don't know if I answered the question, but I don't know, that's just how I think about it. Let me see. Anyway, thanks, Lewis. I appreciate the question, man.
Yeah, hope you're doing good, man. Haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, that's true, man. How's everything going with you, Lewis? Harrison says, not surprised on the Subaru. Grandpa had one stolen years ago. I don't know. Wait, did I read that wrong? Not surprised with the Subaru. My grandpa had one stolen years ago. Did your grandpa have issues with the engine, Harrison?
As a classic.
Yeah, classic engine issues.
I didn't even see Simji's comments. Toucan tune on the WRX. Yeah, somebody put a tune on it, dude. I bought that thing. I bought it used from a dealership, and it had I don't even know. It had like just like from what the eyes can see, just full like bolt-on mods. Like, had a crazy parent intake on it, and I put the exhaust on it because I don't know. But anyways, it had a Cobb access port cord plugged into the ECU, and the mount was still in the car. So the person that had it before had a Cobb access port tune on it. I don't know where they got it to. I don't know who the owner was. I bought it used from a dealership, and that car was so fucking fast. Sorry, cousin, but that car was so fast. It was crazy.
It's okay. This is an 18 plus stream. You guys are gonna hear some curse words on this. There's no filters or what do you call it? There's no, I don't know. This is adult stream. So we're gonna hear the F word a few times. I'm gonna say it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I always wanted to, but I never did. I never took it down to like a dyno to see how much power it was making. But yeah, whatever the guy had done to the car or he did himself, that thing was nuts fast.
Yeah. Subaru is actually really nice with a simple upgrade to the head and gasket. You can push some massive boost with just bolt-ons. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was stock turbo still. I have no idea. I never actually like looked into it. I just drove it and was like, this thing's insane.
It was impressive. I mean, it definitely
Yeah.
set you back. I think I rode in it like twice, and that was enough. It was fast.
Yeah, a lot of racing not on the street, trust me.
Yeah. No,
It'd
you didn't
be
race on the street at all.
no, that's illegal. I took it to a racetrack and one time I beat a C6 Corvette and a couple newer Subarus, Mustangs
On the track.
On the track. These are all on the track,
On
of
the
course.
track. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do any racing either on the streets of California
No.
or the highways.
No,
Never.
we took it to the track. There's lots of tracks out here.
Tons of tracks where we're from.
All kinds of tracks.
So, oh my god, we need to switch gears here. No pun intended. That was a great pun, by the way. That was a great pun. It wasn't intended.
Did you beat a P1 with it? No, that thing's OP, dude. You can't beat a P1.
You can't beat a P1, dude. Albert Cunningham says New York is where street racing is at. Is it? Well, like,
Is it?
where in New York? Not in the city. I can walk faster than cars drive in the city, bro.
I lived well, you lived there too for a little bit. San Jacinto, down in San Jacinto, there's
Yeah.
a road down there that the people that live there turned into a drag strip. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, there's a road there. It's like in between like cow fields. It's just this really long straight road, and they actually like put tire glue down, and the road it looks like a drag strip.
That's wild.
And yeah, they go drag racing there at night.
That is wild, dude. So what? I mean, the cops have to know about it, right?
Yeah, you would think.
They have to. I don't know. That's wild, but yeah, San Jacinto is weird though because it's like a lot of nothing, and then like this weird, kind of half shitty, half awesome, not awesome, but just like half new, I would say, area. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
it's just like a gentrified meth zone.
Dude, these are the nicest meth heads ever, dude. They live in like 1,900 square foot, 4 or 5 bedroom houses with 2-car garages. They're like set up. These meth heads are
They're meth heads though, for sure.
100%, dude.
All the population of that city is on
I mean,
meth.
I bought my first house in San Jacinto.
And some Scientologists, yeah.
Dude, the major, that's what I forgot about San Jacinto. That's like the major, like literally the headquarters of Scientology is over there. Not the Gigaline, dude. Dude, you could find all kinds of Gigalines out in San Jacinto,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, they're doing giggle lines out there for sure.
They're for sure doing Gigalines. Let's see. Caleb says fake plates wraps. So if you're seeing your you change your color and most of the cars go faster than cops can legally chase. Oh, okay. I see. That's true. So I guess what he's saying is like it's easy for the fast cars to get away with it with the fake plates and the wraps and all that.
You know, in California, not that long ago, they passed a thing where cops don't chase motorcycles anymore. Like if they try to pull them over and the motorcycle takes off on them, they just let them go.
What?
Yeah, it's because it's like a safety thing. They're like, we'd rather them slow down and just get away than drive, 150 down the highway and end up dying because they're
Yeah,
on a motorcycle.
right. That's wild. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, that happened. I don't know how long ago. It was pretty recent though.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, no cop car is gonna keep up with it.
No,
Like, not even close. Not even close.
nope. So yeah, they just let them go now.
Caleb says he's got lots of family in law enforcement. They hate it. Apparently, there's a max speed that you're allowed to chase somebody. 120 on, and it has to be on clear roads. Apparently, that's wild. I didn't realize there was that. I guess that's me just being stupid. I didn't know there was like laws like that.
Yeah, I think it's just like a public safety thing.
Of course.
Like
yeah.
we'd rather them get away than endanger
other
not just
people.
themselves but other people on the road.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, definitely, it makes sense. And Eric says it varies by department. Yeah, that's probably regulated by the county or the state, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it varies by department because I mean every county or every city has like different traffic. You know, there's different amounts of people in different areas, and you know, out here where I live now, which is out in Texas, it's roads are mostly clear. And so the speeds that people drive out here, it's just insane. Absolutely insane. The driving in Texas, I can't say for all of Texas, but just like where I'm at, the driving out here is the worst I've ever seen. It is so bad. It seems like every driver is one of like three things, and sometimes all three of them at the same time. They're either really old, they're either on drugs, or they have kids free roaming around in the car with no seatbelts, no car seats, no seatbelts, just all around. And sometimes they're old on drugs and their grandkids are running around in the car at the same time. And so it's just nuts, dude. Like the driving out here is so bad. There's an accident in this city every single day, and it's a smaller city than Redlands. Like there's literally a crazy accident every day. At least one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's stupid. The speed limit in Texas is a suggestion. Exactly. And the suggestion is go whatever speed everyone else is going. Dude, that couldn't be more right.
That's like California freeways too, though.
Yeah, true. But
everybody's going 90.
Here's my assessment of why it happens, and I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe because I'm not from Texas, but maybe from someone from Texas in chat can verify this for me. But basically, here's what I think happens. So in California, our roads are completely like just full. They're full of people. Okay, so we grow up and we drive starting at a very young age, like 15 and a half, you get your permit. You can get your license at 16. I don't know if it's the same way, but that's how it was when I was there. And you start driving right away, and you're thrown into this devil's pit of people driving crazy, right? But you're always used to it. Like you've been doing it since 16, so everything flows. Everybody just knows that everybody's driving crazy, and that's the way it is. No blinkers, whatever. Mm-hmm. But here in Texas, I feel like there's just not as many people, and so there's not as many consequences. Like, dude, if you mess up in California, you're gonna cause an insane pile up on the freeway.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so the consequences are really high, and so everybody's on like level 10 alertness. Not everybody. I was anyway. But out here, there's not as many consequences because there's not as many people. But when there are consequences and there is an accident, it's two people going 80 miles an hour in different directions, running directly into each other. Like, I don't get it, but it's devastating every single time. So I just feel like there's just not enough. They're not as exposed to an insane amount of traffic like all the time like we were in California. I think that's what it is. So they don't know how to drive in traffic.
No matter where you're at over here. Well, I can't say that, but the majority of the places that I've been to or drive often, it's just nonstop traffic.
Simji, I've been to Miami, and I can vouch for saying that is really bad drivers in Miami as well. like crazy. But I will say this though, I don't know if they have the same number of accidents as they do out here. I think Miami drivers are crazy, but literally everybody in Miami is crazy, and not just about driving. They're just nuts.
They're all
And
on the
so
Giga lines.
they're all on Giga lines, dude. They've been on Giga lines since 1980, okay? And they're just lit all day long. And so the driving has been crazy for like the last 50 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I definitely can vouch for that. Miami driving is really nuts. Knerd says, hello, sorry I was late. I was bathing. Well, at least you're clean, bro. And don't worry about being late. We're not doing anything important right now.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, man.
Giga lines for the win. Miami is wild, dude. It's almost another. It should be its own country, I feel like. Eric Robbins says, I'm in Fort Worth. Sounds like you're in San Antonio. I'm not in San Antonio, but I imagine it's similar. I've checked out San Antonio a few times. Atlanta traffic is funny. All the cops speed. Dude, I think that's everywhere, honestly. I think cops are, I don't know, they seemed, they got somewhere to go, right? I mean, maybe more so than any of us. They have somewhere to go, and so they're all speeding.
Yeah.
As long as you don't pass them, you're good. That's
Yep.
that's a good rule.
That's the general rule. I mean, still here in California.
Yeah, we do that. We do that same thing in California.
Yep. You see a cop on the highway, you're like, all right, I'll just chill behind
Don't
you.
pass
Dude.
it. I got pulled over.
Yeah.
I got pulled over for going way too slow on the highway in California, and I did not get a ticket because the cop kind of felt stupid. He was so pissed at me. It was like, obviously he had somewhere to go, but I was in the fast lane, and this was back when I wasn't racing on the highways at all, and and
Right.
I was very cautious, looking in my mirrors, making sure police weren't around, because I wasn't doing anything illegal, right? And I didn't. Anyway, we can't just keep saying the same joke over and over again. I don't think it's gonna work anymore. Anyway, so I was in the fast lane, and I saw this cop on a motorcycle behind me, pulling up to me. I just decided to slow down a little bit. I'm gonna go 65. I'm not gonna give him any reason to pull me over, and I went 65, and then we were in a construction zone, so I dropped it down to 60. Now think about that for a second. Have you ever driven in the fast lane at 60 miles per hour on the highways of California when there's no traffic? There wasn't traffic. It was just open. No, exactly.
No traffic on the highway. It's like 110 at least.
Yeah, and he didn't either. So he flipped his lights on and pulled me over. We get over to the side, and he's like, he immediately was just hot, dude. He gets off the bike, stomps up to the car. I could see him just like being upset. He looked like he was throwing a fit like a toddler, right? Like, but he had the motorcycle boots on and stuff, so I think that's just how you have to walk. But it looked ridiculous. He stomps up to the car, and he's like, why were you going so slow? And I was like, I got nervous. I thought you were gonna pull me over. And he's like, I pulled you over because you were going too slow. And I said, but there was a construction zone, and I didn't want to. You're supposed to slow down for a construction zone. And he just looked at me, and he was like, fuck you. And then he just walked away. And I was like, oh, what? And he just walked away, got back on his bike, and left. And I didn't get a ticket. I got nothing. And I'm like, okay. So apparently you can't do either one. There's a happy medium. You got to drive exactly the speed limit that they expect you to drive, which is like the speed limit, but like a little bit more. But if you go too much, it's a ticket. Anyway, it was a weird, I don't know. It was a weird interaction.
Simji has a question for you.
What is Simji saying? Is it possible in the future to see you hunt a world record, the process, etc., something along those lines? That would be cool. I think there's only one track in Motorfest that I'm even maybe capable of taking, I think, at this point. And Sindri says in a short form video, obviously. Glide says, I can't watch world record hunting personally. restarting 999,999 times is unappealing. I totally I agree with that, and I think yes, in a short form video, maybe some like a couple of mistakes or something like that, we could figure out a way to do that. That'd be fun. I would definitely. Maybe I wouldn't enjoy the process, but the finished product might be nice. I appreciate the suggestion, Simji. Goliath, I drove through Atlanta, like, what was it? When did I see my grandparents? Like about a month ago. Yeah, it was about a month ago. I went down to see, or I went over to North Carolina to see my grandparents, and I drove through Atlanta, and man, the amount of traffic going through Atlanta during like the rush hour is a ridiculous amount of people, and yet it was all moving. I don't know, maybe I didn't hit the right areas or whatever, but like everything was moving. It wasn't moving super fast, but it was nowhere near the California freeways. When you drive in rush hour in California, you are doing 10 miles per hour or less, and you're gonna do that for 3 hours probably if you drive through LA.
Yeah, if you're going through LA during rush hour, it's you're going like you said, 10 miles per hour, or you're stopped.
Yeah.
And then you move like 5 feet and stop again, and then you
Yes.
move 5 feet and you stop again.
It's bad. I came through Atlanta at like, so on the way there, it was earlier. It was like 12 o'clock or something like that. It was during the middle of the day. On the way back, I drove through. It was right around 4 o'clock when we got there, because we got to the hotel. Let's see, wait, 4 o'clock. Yeah, because our hotel was in Birmingham. We were driving through, so it was probably around 4 o'clock or so. We got to the hotel at like 6:30. 4 to 6 is the absolute worst. After 6, it starts moving pretty consistently. Yeah, it was moving. I was just surprised at the way it was moving. I think we were doing about 20, 25, 30 miles an hour through traffic through Atlanta. So I'm impressed with that. I appreciate the wide lanes. There's like 400 lanes on the Atlanta highways. It's pretty nice. You better make sure your car doesn't overheat getting on Cali Highway. 100%, dude. If you got a problem with overheating, don't drive in California.
Yep.
Caleb said, let's see. Oh, dang. Caleb has driven the Agera R in Motorfest for over 2,000 miles. Let's go.
Nice. It's a good car to master. That car has ruined every other car in the game for me.
Yeah.
Since I started driving that car, every time I drive a different car, I'm just like, this car understeers. This car understeers. This car, like every car that I've driven since I started driving that.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, it can't corner. This thing sucks.
It
ruined it.
It definitely did. Agera 2 OP, 100%. I guess it reminds me a little bit of the RSR in Need for Speed Heat, because not necessarily because the RSR was like too OP, because it was definitely the fastest car, like head and shoulders above the rest. However, the McLaren F1 and the Ferrari F40 and the Pagani Huayra and the Ford GT, like they kind of had this similar handling model that the RSR, like it was, those cars were closer to the RSR than literally anything is close to the Agera R in Motorfest. Like the Agera, it just handles so much different. It's so crazy. I mean, maybe there's another car out there though that we haven't found that's close. I don't know. But for now, that thing is crazy, dude.
Yeah, if you have the skill for it, if you have the skill for the Agera R, that thing, like just the ability to take corners is crazy. Yeah, the Jesco.
Yeah, I agree.
Jesco's kind of in the same path of like, it's a little harder to drive, but if you can tame it, that thing's insane.
Yeah, I agree with you, Goliath. I think the Jesco is probably the closest thing at this point that we found. People in the Crew Motorfest Discord still cope with the Cento. Oh my goodness. You know what? That car, I'll say that car feels great to drive. But it is no Agera, like not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the car everybody was driving. I was driving it all the time. And then I went back to it for the summit, and like I've been saying, as soon as I drove it, I was like, this thing understeers.
Literally every car. This is the understeer on this is crazy.
And something I didn't realize, the braking distance
Yeah.
on the Bugatti is terrible.
On which one? The Cento?
The Cento, yeah. It's not terrible, but it's a lot worse than I remembered it.
Yeah.
On the race in this summit, I was having issues braking way too late because I thought it could,
Yeah.
but I had to brake so early.
Yeah, so early. I don't think the Agera R has good braking distance either. Does it? Hold on.
Probably.
Let me look at my sheet here.
Yeah.
We got...
Yeah, everyone started spamming it. Yeah, I know. I was
Oh no, it has great braking distance. It's a 16.0.
so it is pretty good then.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, because I don't know. I tried to brake with the Cento, and it just wouldn't do it. I had to brake so early.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wouldn't count out the McLaren 766 LT. I don't know. Other than the racing McLaren, the other McLarens that I've driven suck.
Yeah.
Okay, suck's not the best word. They don't handle as great as I would like them to.
They suck.
They suck for my driving style.
Yes, exactly.
I haven't tried that one though, so I'll give it a try next time I'm on. Actually, the McLaren 766 LT.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to give that a shot. I agree with you, Goliath. It was the same for me. Once I started using the Cento, I was like, this is what a hypercar is supposed to feel like. But then the Agera came out and it was like, whoa, this is what a hypercar is supposed to feel like.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the whole clutch and wheel mode software that's recently been making its rounds? I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
Because on one end, I'm like, I guess, like, it's not going to be for everybody. It's only going to be for the people that are really good at the game, right?
Yeah.
That can be able to control the car with that amount of steering.
Yes.
So it's like only the fast guys that are already going to be beating everybody anyways are going to be using it. And also it just kind of levels them with the people that are on wheel.
Who are also just as fast.
Yes. So it kind of evens just the fast guys out.
Right.
And then I don't know if it's considered cheating or not, but it is like a third-party software. And I watched the video on, the person installing it, and I was like, this guy's using cheats.
Right.
But then when you actually think about what it is, I don't think it's cheating.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I don't plan on using it either because it takes me 7 months just to get used to the way something feels. And I feel like I'm already used to, or on my way to being used to the steering that I have right now, which is the default settings in Motorfest right now. So I'm not planning on transitioning to that. But for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, there is a third-party software essentially that you can install on your PC, and long story short, what it does is it sort of it sets up what's called like a virtual controller, and it tricks the game into thinking that your controller is a wheel and that your inputs on the controller represent the inputs of a wheel. And so, like, for example, if you have your joystick and it's completely to the left, like 90 degrees to the left, that's 100% steering, or whatever value I think you can set it at. You can set it to like 90 or whatever it is. But that's like your max steering. And so it responds instantly as if you had a wheel and you turned it 90 degrees, and that would be like max steering or whatever. Yeah. So it gives you instantaneous feel, and you're gonna feel more connected to the steering of the vehicle because it's an instantaneous turn, as opposed to moving the joystick and then feeling the car kind of feather into the turn. So it
works like the wheel.
It works identically to the way a wheel would work. The only in my opinion, the only, I would say, advantage is that you, on a controller, it's way faster to use your thumb to put the stick over than it is on a wheel to physically move your hands and turn it. So it basically gives controller players wheel steering. So I don't know. To me, I'm kind of like, I kind of think of it the same way you do. When you look at someone installing it, you're like, this guy for sure is cheating. But then when you think about what it is, you're basically just using a virtual controller, and that doesn't feel like cheating that much.
Yeah.
But then you think about, like, should wheels and controllers be equal? Like, a wheel is, in theory, much harder device to use than a controller in general, right? But like, the insanely talented people who drive really fast are going to be good with both of those input devices, and if the settings for the wheel make them that much faster, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because it's not like they're using something that's beyond the scope of the game. They're not using cheats necessarily. They're not using like speed hacks or, you know, grip hacks or whatever. I mean, I'm just making stuff up at this point, but like, do you know understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wheel input has faster steering, deeper steering angles, and more grip. Exactly. So it's really tough, because it definitely could be argued both ways. Like, I completely understand anyone who says it's cheating, and I completely understand everyone who says it's just evening the playing field. But the reason why I haven't really talked about it yet is because I don't think it's relevant to like 99.9% of the people who play Motorfest. Like, literally, that's where I think it's at. The 0.1% of people who are skilled enough to actually take advantage of that and get better and be interested in that sort of thing and be on PC. Like, it just seems like, to me, it just seems like it's not super relevant to the general need for speed player. But it is a topic of discussion for sure, and it is something that has sort of been making its rounds in the various Discord servers and communities.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, Psycho says he feels like it's cheating. Yeah, man, it's tough, because now you have to think about the console players, dude. Because what about the people who are insanely talented, skilled, but they're on PlayStation or Xbox?
Yeah, that's true.
They literally
don't have access to it.
They can't access that type of thing. So I don't. In that respect, it feels more like cheating.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you feel about it, Goliath?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your take on it, Goliath. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
A question about TCM, about launching. Is there a strategy for good starts or something I'm not doing? So Jeff, this is actually something I want to test. I have not been able to test this yet, because I'm currently testing vanity tires. I'm currently testing vanity tires, spoilers, and other visual parts, because that's sort of a thing well, it certainly was a thing in the Crew 2, and it's definitely a thing that people are talking about in Crew Motorfest. So I haven't had a chance to test it. However, I do want to figure out, if possible, how to have a perfect launch, if that even exists. Obviously, it's not a mechanic of the game, but we got to figure out the best way to launch, because these random starts that we get are just so frustrating. So frustrating. So one of the things that we've found to be pretty helpful lately, and I'm going to credit Simji on this, is you can, with cars that spin the wheels at launch, you can immediately shift up to second gear if you're in manual, like before you even see the time to go. Like, basically it'll count down 3, 2, 1, and the second you see, this is the way Simji says it, the second you see a pixel of the word go, you should be shifting up into second. So it's almost like before you get a chance to go, you should be shifting into second, and that actually triggers your traction control more often than not. That's what I've noticed. And also, I think everybody should be running comfort traction control. It seems to be working the best in terms of racing. I don't really like it for drifting, but for racing, it seems to be the best way to go. So anyway, that's I don't know. That's my take on how to launch, Mr.
Yeah.
Jeff. It was a long-winded way to say it, but it is what it is.
It is just very inconsistent.
Yeah, Zol says it's his opinion definitely unfair to controller players. Makes it impossible to catch up to people who use those third-party softwares. Yeah, I don't know if I would say impossible. The difference between someone with that wheel steering and someone who doesn't have it, I think, is your driving skill is going to overcome that small advantage, in my opinion. If you're a better driver with the controller steering versus a worse off driver with the wheel steering, the better driver is going to win like 99% of the time. I don't plan on bringing it into summits or grand races, to be honest. The reason is because it will be hard to relate to people who watch my content. Makes sense. Makes 100% sense. Especially if, you know, Goliath, your content is designed to teach, and I think it's definitely hard to teach when you have access to something that maybe they don't. And that is a big reason why I usually don't mess with mods at all, and until the game is like over. Like, I didn't even start using the Unite mod on Need for Speed Heat until like, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 years after the game was out. By the way, the Unite mod was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was definitely fun.
He said it also drives a wedge into the community. I already expect console people to avoid known people using that software.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
I also agree with that.
Yeah, and it kind of paints us, I wouldn't say us because I'm on PC as well, but it kind of paints us in a bad light as well. And I feel like it's so easy to just go, oh, PC, that's a cheater. You know, when I would say a huge majority of the players who are on PC are not cheating at all. You know, but there is this gap, dude. I mean, you noticed it too. There's a huge gap between guys like Goliath and SimG and Predaking and Blue 90 and the Jaeger Hunter boys and like all the people that are like really super fast that are on PC. There's a huge gap between those people and like the general person that's in a grand race. Like, the gap is ridiculous, and I think that it's when you're that general person and you see all these PC players that just keep getting, you know, first, second, third, fourth, whatever, it's very easy to go, there's no way that they're that much better, you know. Yeah. But it's a reality, dude. The difference is huge. The difference is huge. I used to be that person. I used to be that general person back in Heat days, you know, and it just took me years of playing the game to get to I can't even put myself on the same level as those guys, but like to get within reach of those guys, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy how they said crossplay, but the only way you can play with PC players is the grand race. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's I don't want to bash the game, but I have strong feelings about the crossplay thing. I think it was very poorly worded, and it seems intentional because crossplay is such a huge feature nowadays. I don't know if you agree with me on this, Kyle, but I feel like crossplay is sort of becoming a standard for multiplayer games, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the crew marketing team made a conscious decision, and I have no evidence of this, but it's just my feeling. I think the crew marketing team made a conscious decision to word it in a way that made it seem like the game was crossplay, but then when you got into the game, there was literally no crossplay unless you were in a grand race. So what they said was crossplay features or crossplay. What they say? They said, I don't know. So I can't pull up the exact words right now, but it was like it was basically saying like only certain features were crossplay, but it was worded so that you thought the whole game was.
Yeah, it's like crossplay matchmaking or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Eric Robbins wants a slow motion video of the escape highway jump. I can't hit it to save my life. Eric, you can, if you're on YouTube, you can change the playback speed. Just go to that section of the video, change the playback speed to 0.25 or whatever, 25% or 50%, and then you can see there's a couple of polls. Basically, what I do is there's two, like, there's a tree maybe, and then a pole, and you go like just to the left of that at like a diagonal. But you can go back to the summit guide and just
you hit the settings cog.
Yeah.
Hit the settings, and then it'll say playback speed. You can change that. And also, when you hit the jump, you want to pull back on your steering stick to angle the car up, and that's going to allow your air NOS to launch you.
Yeah.
If you're not leaned back, it'll just push you in whichever direction your car's facing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good tip for sure. I don't know why I didn't say that in the video, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know why either, dude. What's wrong with you?
But it says I don't see the point in using he's talking about the wheel steering. Don't see the point in it personally, because if he used that, it would make things really, really easy. Like it would improve his steering so much. So his question is like, who is he competing with? And the answer is you're competing with like the point, like I said, the 0.01% of people who actually have that steering and have the skills to race like you do. I mean, that's really who you're competing with. So, and he's like, yeah, there's no satisfaction in winning. True. 100% true. Let's see. I was in a race or launch. If you can't get grip in second, you can bang to third instantly, then back to second. That's true. I haven't done that much, but Caleb, I have experienced that. If you're spinning your tires and you upshift to second, you're still spinning your tires, you can upshift to third and then back to second real quick, and it just settles the car down. But I don't know if that's faster than just letting the tires spin in second and just go. Like, they'll eventually hook up eventually, you know? So you actually watch them race. The lines y'all take and driving habits are so much smoother than mine. So it makes obvious to me while y'all are faster. Yeah. That is a very what do I want to say? That's a very mature way to look at the situation, Eric, but I don't think most people look at it that way. I think they go, that guy's beating me by 57 seconds, he's cheating.
He's a cheater. Is it possible to access manual clutch on console? No, the clutch is also another gray area third-party software.
Yeah.
So people that are on PC with controller that use manual and clutch, it's another one of those things. Because you only have clutch if you have a wheel, right? A wheel and like a H shifter.
Yep. Yeah, Goliath's right. You need a physical wheel to use clutch on console.
Yeah.
But you don't need, that's the thing, you can use third-party software to, once again, you're basically tricking the system into thinking you can set up your controller so you can use clutch on a controller, which is so weird. Like, why can't we just use clutch? Like, why isn't it a default game setting that a controller player can use clutch? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. But also, to answer your question, without the clutch part, manual is a little bit faster than automatic. Yes. In fact, on this channel, there's a video we just did not that long ago where we compare the two.
That is true. That is true. If you look up, let's see, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, you can find it for sure. It's like manual versus automatic. Motorfest, MGC. Just throw all those keywords in there, you'll find it. 1K Nizu, happy to see you streaming. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. There are 2 routes in the escape that are good. Yeah, there's another route I think that Johnny was doing. I don't know. I didn't look at it, but the one that I showed on the video, I feel like it was fine. The freeway jump is largely dependent on your speed going into it. And for that you just need, I mean, the Agera is great, but that or the Chenzo would be fine. It's just the traffic. Like, the traffic leading up to that freeway jump is what gives it the problem. Chris has a question that's a pretty common question. Should you switch to manual? I know he's putting in quotes because it's not.
No, I think that's the title of your video.
Oh,
The
that's the
manual
title of
versus
the video.
automatic one. I think so.
Oh, gotcha.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's what he was
I
doing
see.
there. Hold on,
Yeah.
Let me double check.
I think you're right, Chris. I think that is the title of the video. Zol says, I've driven automatic my whole life. Can't see myself switching up now. Zols, I definitely think, particularly with Motorfest, you would probably improve, I would say, if you did decide to make the switch to manual. There's so many scenarios where the ability to switch your gears helps you either maintain speed or reduce speed, or just be in the correct gear to accelerate out of a turn. I mean, there's a lot of situations where it would help. That being said, I think Motorfest has what I would consider to be like the great equalizer. And it's not, okay, I take that back. It doesn't equalize things because it's available for both manual and automatic players, but Nitro Chemist with pure and extra pump make the difference between automatic and manual a lot smaller, because an automatic player can use all of that NOS because it's so powerful for these cars. You can actually use all of that NOS to, like, in different sections of the course in order to make up for the fact that you may not be in the right gear all the time. So like the difference is still there, but it's a little bit smaller, I would say. Anyway.
Yeah.
What controller do I use? I actually have to show this to the stream because it's so cute. Hold on a second. I use an Xbox controller, but this Xbox controller, shout out to my wife, this Xbox controller was drawn not by my wife.
Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy with the lit design.
Told you she's a great artist.
She's a great artist. Check this art out. No, this was done by my 1-year-old on Father's Day. This was my Father's Day gift, and I'm so I love it. I just love playing with this, and I want to get one every year, by the way, Stacy. I want a new design with every year of life. So anyway, this is the controller I use.
Yeah, thing's awesome.
Yeah.
I use I'll show you mine. This was also a gift. But hold on.
Is it the one I think it is?
It is a Forza Horizon limited edition. Oh man, this thing is sweet.
How's that grippy?
How's the grippy?
Yeah, is it still like is it
it's still grippy?
Because I've thought, like, after a while, that grippiness, my Forza controller's up on the wall over there. Is it what am I trying to say? Is it like smoothed out now? Because when you first got it, it was like it felt like I don't even know, dude.
It is a little bit smooth now.
Yeah, but still comfortable.
Yeah, it's still comfortable. It's nice. And I have no idea how. Oh, I'm gonna freaking jinx it. I was gonna say I have no idea how I don't have stick drift yet. I've had it for a couple years, but
you know what it is? You're not playing any shooters with it, or you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
True.
Stick drift is generated by shooters. That's what I've come to the conclusion of, because when I was playing shooters religiously, I was going through controllers like every 61 days to be exact. And that's exactly the day after the controller warranty was up. So exactly 61 days is how long an Xbox controller was lasting. Eric, mine's a normal controller. Yeah, not a scuff.
Yeah, same. These are just regular Xbox. This was I guess a collab they did with Forza Horizon.
Yeah, Forza. That controller is really nice, actually.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah. The
nice one.
1K Nizu wants to know if I think that some of the meta Street 2 cars are going to be nerfed in the future. Maybe there's a Crew 2 OG out there that can maybe verify this, but if I remember correctly, I don't think they really nerfed or buffed any cars in the Crew 2. They just kept releasing new cars and new additions and variations of cars that sort of like shifted the meta a lot. Like, I don't think they actually like took a car and just completely nerfed it to the ground because it was OP. Also, I don't think really there's a specific OP Street 2 car. Like, the 993 is great, the Hurricane is great, the ZR1 is great, and then there's like a whole bunch of cars that are lined up to be contenders right after that. There's like a lot of variation in Street 2 specifically, but
yeah, there's a lot of choice in Street 2.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they'll be nerfing anything. Zol says loves that controller, but his X button began to stick like 2 weeks after using it. Dang. Were you able to get a replacement? Because that's exactly what I would have done. RIG, thank you so much for coming to the stream, man. I appreciate it, dude.
And thanks for stopping by, Goliath.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I appreciate
have a great night.
The questions and all that. Very nice. Driving with a keyboard like a psychopath, apparently, is Chris Wesley. Not that I know of. They haven't nerfed any vehicles in TC1 or TC2. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. They don't mess with the meta that way. They usually just introduce new vehicles, and that sort of shifts things. Like, I don't know, for like a long time in the Crew 2, the Lamborghini Gallardo was like the Street 2 king for a long time. And then when they brought in the older Countach, then that ended up taking over. So like, I don't know. Yeah, they're just constantly shifting the meta. What I will say though is the cars that are deemed shitty are gonna be shitty for the whole time.
Yeah.
So don't worry about using those, dude.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah, Cobbs is saying the same thing. He doesn't think they nerfed hard, but definitely the meta was being shifted like every year or so, which I totally expect with this game. I think, dude, this is something that I'm very excited about for this game. I'm super thankful that the Motorfest content has done well for the channel. Every single time I have drifted away from Need for Speed on the channel, I just see a huge drop in viewership. And it's completely the opposite with Motorfest. So I'm super grateful to all you guys for watching the content. But that being said, I'm excited because this is a game that gets support for years. And I think that there's, if you're in it for the long run, if you're not going to be, someone who's just like, oh, the summit rewards are trash this month, I'm not playing it. And then you don't play it for like 6 months or a year. Like, you can do that. And then when you come back, you're going to have a completely different game to play because they're going to continuously update the game. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of having support like that. So I'm excited about that. I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm going to grab my second drink of the podcast here.
Oh my God. Is there an input delay on controller when turning? Yes, there is a slight input delay, but they have there's full controller settings that you can adjust to try to minimize that. I know that there's a few other guys on YouTube that have put out really good videos kind of explaining it and showing what their settings are.
Yep.
Who was it? Magic IQ. Magic IQ has a really good video on controller settings.
Yeah. I play on completely default controller settings. It's just what I've gotten used to playing the game. I didn't mess with them at all. And that's just kind of how I like it. But that being said, I think if I did mess with them, I probably could increase the decrease the input lag a little bit, and maybe that would help me go faster. I don't know. I do have quite a bit of issues trying to gutter turns.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not Caleb. I don't know who that is. Psycho says we'll check it out. Yeah,
check it out.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good video that he made.
And Chris, thank you so much. Crushing Motorfest, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Was never into any car game content YouTubers, but you've done dope. You've been dope to watch vids and streams. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Chris. That's awesome. I try my best to be informative first, entertaining if possible, and mostly just helpful. I wanted the channel to be helpful to anyone who finds one of the videos. No, okay, makes sense. I tend to stick to my inner circles though, Caleb. So I got my guy Steven here. We got Simji and Goliath and the Jaeger boys, and anyone else who meets me in the grand races. So I'll probably stick to that. Chunky Money OG, what's going on, man? How are you? And Optic Energy joins the stream. And OG Optic Energy has been tuning into streams from, dude, like the early days of Heat, I believe.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
A long time. Shout out to Optic for coming by. Automotive guy said, I believe the next Summit bundle will cost around 1.1 million. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I really, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with the pricing of the Summit bundles. Like if the cars are super expensive, like to me, that is a reason to play the game. And I don't know, maybe it's just my Need for Speed background or like me coming from a Need for Speed perspective, but like I love when the game gives me reasons to play the game, dude. Like Need for Speed doesn't do that at all. They're like, here's cars, customize them, do whatever you want. And I'm like, give me a reason to play the game. And and Motorfest does not have an issue with that. They are constantly giving you reasons to grind and play the game, whether it be legendary parts or money or, you know, Summit bundles or whatever. What I'm not too happy about lately is my the amount of CCs that I've been spending on vanities.
Yeah, dude. I just bought my first pack of vanities was the last one. I bought the gold stuff because I thought the smoke and the nitrous looks pretty good.
It looks so good, dude. It looks so good. I bought that. I bought the blue underglow. I bought the white underglow. I bought the blue triangles, the big giant one. I bought so much this week, dude. I spent like, I'm not even joking, I probably spent like $18 this week. And then there's gonna be new vanities next week.
Next week. I will say the white underglow I already had from the crew too, I guess.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lacking on the vanities. I'm so lacking on the vanities, dude. I played the majority of my crew 2 playing was on Xbox. I think yours was too.
Yes.
And then I transitioned to PC when I was making content for it because I wanted to sort of increase. This is right when I bought my PC, and I just wanted to increase the quality of the streams and the videos and stuff. And so I switched to PC, and it's a completely different account, and nothing transferred over. So I started over, and then I kind of didn't play the game much after that. So I'm lacking on vanities, dude. I don't have a lot of the crew 2 vanities.
Yeah. General question for both of you guys there. Any arcade racer that you guys could see entering the esports scene? Honestly, I think no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not like it just doesn't have like a competitive format to base off. Like all the esports games, the games are created basically for like to be like a competitive esport thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Arcade Racer is that it's an arcade game. So although like people get really competitive in it, like you and Goliath and all the guys from the Need for Speed League and stuff like that, it can be very competitive, but there's no structure to it that can put in like a competitive, and the developers on top of it have to constantly be doing stuff with the game to shift the metas and shift it, or otherwise you're watching the exact same race every competition
with the same the same races, the same cars. It's just not going to be the competitive games. Let's say Valorant, because we both play Valorant and we know a little bit about it, and you certainly on the esports side know a lot about it. But like Valorant is a great example. They are constantly shifting the meta. They're nerfing, they're buffing, they're adding maps, they're adding different agents. They're constantly changing the way the game plays, so that every season or every year there's something different going on, and the matches you're watching are not exactly the same every time. And I think with a racing game specifically, once you find out what the best car is, there's no like, how do I put it? There's no like abilities or like loadouts or like Like you're running the best, and everybody knows that that's the best car, and this is the best, and the best whatever engine build, whatever you want to say, and that's what you're gonna watch. You're just gonna watch everybody use that same exact car on the same whatever races that are going on, and yeah, I agree with that. I do think
I just don't think there's a competitive structure around it to be put into like an actual esports competitive event.
Right. I wish there was the ability to make that. In fact, this is why I wanted to build Need for Speed Battles, because I wanted there to be that esports arena. I wanted people to basically I want to show people how good the good players are. I wanted to create an entertainment product around all of these insanely fast people, and so that was kind of the idea behind NFS
there
Battles.
is a flip side to that though, because not a lot, but like there's a lot of not a lot, but a lot like sim racing. There's a lot of sim racing esports. Like they have like a full esport NASCAR that goes on, or full like
F1.
Formula One stuff, and a bunch of like iRacing guys are out there doing esports. So I guess like it could be possible.
Yeah, but those games are so much more like structured. The product that they're selling in those games is pure racing. There's not like a lot of I don't want to say they're not fun, because I know people who like really love sim games and they have a lot of fun in them. But in my opinion, I think arcade games are much more geared towards having fun while playing a racing game or a game about cars. That's really what it's about, as opposed to the competitive who can go the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think though, if there were any games that could make the jump to esports, I think it's either I think it would probably be Horizon. If there was any game, it would probably be a Forza. The only issue with Forza is that it's just riddled with cheating. Like their anti-cheat is like non-existent. So that's the only issue.
I know. It would be cool though if an arcade racer was like a competitive like esport. It would be cool to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Chunky Monkey says, do we think Motorfest will win the racing sport category in the Game Awards? For this year, I'm trying to think of what its competitors are. I think it probably will, because the only competitor is GT7, right?
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
What are the
Hot Wheels won't win.
What are the nominations? Let's see.
See if you can pull up the nominations. I'll look at the other question. We'll come back to it, Chunky. You could have all the cars be what they are and make the tracks to complement certain cars for variation. This is true, David, but that speaks to Steven's point on this, in that it's not structured around that. Like, you could do that, but the developer didn't build the game in that way. Does that make sense? So like basically the dominant car is going to be dominant on pretty much all of the tracks.
Best sport/racing. What are we looking at?
Caleb says he feels like the crew is what Need for Speed should have been. I agree with you in terms of the content and the weekly updates and the monthly updates and all of that stuff. I totally agree with you. But the structure of the game is completely different. Need for Speed is more of a vibe than anything. It's literally just being in this street car culture, basically, and being able to modify your cars, customize them however you want, being able to build them the way that you want to build them so that they can sound differently, adjusting your like, it's all about the vibe of the car scene, as opposed to Motorfest, which is much more about the racing than it is about the customization, even though it has the vanities and all of that stuff to go along with it. But the game is much more about racing.
Yeah. All right, you want to hear the games that are up for nomination here?
Yes.
So they don't have just a racing category. It's best sports/racing.
Okay.
So the first game is EA Sports FC 24. So it's a soccer game.
Okay.
And then, so for racing games though, they have F123,
Okay.
Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels, and the Crew Motorfest.
And then that's for racing though. Do they have to go up against sports also?
Just the one,
Just the one.
EA Sports FC24.
Okay. So I would say out of those games, probably Motorfest will win. Because Motorfest
Over
is
F1 Motorsport and Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, yeah,
yes.
probably Motorfest.
Yeah, because Motorfest had the hype, man. Going into the release of the game, it was insanely hyped up. So like it didn't the critical acclaim of Motorfest was really high. I definitely think it'll win. I would be surprised if it didn't. The only one I think it could challenge is maybe Motorsport, but Motorsport has had a lot of bad press lately. So I don't know,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Let's see. Oh, Eric said this is his first crew game. Is the Grand Race a new thing? It's very addictive for me. It is a new thing, Eric, and it is very addicting for a lot of people. I mean, I still love doing it. There's some adrenaline, there's some competitiveness, there's some anger. There's like literally every feeling when I race a Grand Race.
The Grand Races are really fun.
Motorsport from the ground up. Yeah, it's literally on the ground. They got to start somewhere, right? Optic says, do you think the Summit Platinum rewards in the Crew Motorfest will get better? Not much to aim for so far, I find. Yeah, I agree, Optic. I think the dude, the Summit rewards have been absolutely awful. Absolutely
Yes.
awful. And on top of that, they are compounding that awfulness with repeating events. And so to me right now, I feel like IVT is not doing a great job with Motorfest in terms of whatever content they planned for the first 2-3 months. I feel like this was the biggest amount of time, the time we have the biggest amount of players, I should say, and you should have been throwing out bangers in the beginning.
Yep.
Like it should have been the dopest rewards you could possibly get, not the worst ones, and certainly not repeat repeat rewards from the Crew 2. Like there's a bunch of vanities that you won in the summits that you could have gotten in the Crew 2 already. Like what are we doing? What are we doing here? I mean, it really is stupid.
Yeah, I was talking to Simji about this either last night or the night before, where I was saying I think it's really weird how they're treating Motorfest and the Crew 2 like they're trying to mesh the two games together. And instead of just like this being its own new game, they're trying to implement the stuff from the Crew 2, trying to get more people to play the Crew 2. And I told him I think that it's because they committed to the 2 extra years on the game.
Yeah.
So they're trying to pull more people to get back into the Crew 2 to make it worth it.
Yes. Yeah, it kind of feels like this will be year 6, I believe, for the Crew 2. After year 6, it feels like that's when Motorsport or Motorfest, I should say, will sort of take off in terms of like the summit rewards, the vanities, because you'll basically have the entire team working on just Motorfest. And so the creativity will be different. You'll have more creative ideas and design and more cool stuff to add to the game. I don't know. I just think that I definitely think they're dropping the ball. There was so much hype around the game at launch, and I don't know. They're just riding out the hype of the Grand Races for the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's literally all that's been going on. But yeah, I don't know. It seems super weird that they're trying to involve the Crew 2 in motorsport. God, Motorfest.
I know. I keep saying Motorsport.
Like
also.
all the not all, but there's a bunch of challenges in Motorfest where the only way you can complete this challenge is by using a Crew 2 exclusive vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's like now I got to go play the Crew 2, and then it's a car that I can't even get in the Crew 2 because it was a summer reward from freaking 2 years ago.
Yep.
Or you know what I mean? So it's weird how they like mesh them together instead of this being its own new game.
It's really frustrating, to be honest. it's frustrating from a content creator's point of view as well, because um I like when a game is successful. It definitely helps with the channel views. It helps with the monetization. It helps with just the general feeling around the channel, and knowing what I'm gonna make content on next. Like, just knowing, like, okay, this content is doing well, we need to keep going in that direction. Or, you know, it just man, and then I see them dropping the ball like this, and it's just so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
Thoughts on the Crew 2 new update. So my thoughts are, Dan, that I need to check it out. I have not pulled it up yet. All I know is that they did do an update, and that for the most part it seems like people are at the very least interested in it. So yeah, I have not divin. I have not divin into the Crew 2 update yet.
You haven't divin?
I haven't divin into
I haven't divin in yet.
Nope. What do you think about Motorfest not having a battle pass? The Crew 2 has. Do you like that or not? Chunky, I think eventually it will have it. It's okay that it didn't have it at launch. I'm fine with that. I do like it. I think it I think on a number of different fronts it helps the community, both the dev, the people playing the game, they have a reason to grind, and then the devs make money off of it as well, and which is good. It's a good thing. I mean, I don't know where we went wrong as a gaming community, but like, the devs making money on the game is not a bad thing. That means that they're doing well and they can do more things for that game. But I don't know. But anyway, no, I don't know. I'm not upset that it's not in the game, but I think it will eventually show up. How come they put Summit cars in the shop but you can't buy them? Because Psycho, the shop is not only the shop, but it's also like where you can view the entire vehicle collection. And I think the Crew 2 is very much a collection game as well. So that's why they're just showing you the possibilities. Good morning to RS. How you doing? Do you think the Hoonigan update for Motorfest will be any good? That's a tough one, Zols, because I kind of have to dance around the question a little bit, because I did get to I'm actually in the Ubisoft Creators Program, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I can't really answer that question without violating an NDA. Or I'm not smart enough to figure out how to answer that question without violating an NDA. I don't have a lawyer either.
Hoonigan, what's that?
Yeah, I don't even know. They're adding Hoonigan, dude? Divin. Yeah, exactly, Chunky. Let's see. They did just get rid of the motor pass in TC2. Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah, dude, I'm out of the loop, Dan, on TC2, to be honest with you. I need to get back into it, because they are planning on doing updates throughout the year, and I think it would be good supplementary content for the channel. This is my shameless ask for you to check out the C8.
The C8 is great.
I think there might be a Toucan tune on the C8 that you haven't added to the list yet.
I think it is default.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
You need to, dude. You need to tune that thing. Steven is a habitual user of the C8. He has used it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. It's great. It handles great. It's got decent speed. Gutter's great. I recommend.
Yeah, Cobbs, the other thing I noticed about the TC2 motor pass is that if you bought the motor pass and you played it all the way through, you would gain enough CCs to buy the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for the most part,
it's like a standard battle pass thing, though.
Yes.
Like most battle pass, you buy one and then it gives you your credits back, and then you buy the next one with it.
Yep. Default. Sounds like a Stacy tune. No, Stacy would tune it based on how many holes and vents you could put on the hood.
Speed holes and speed vents.
Yeah.
Stacy Tune is a wide body kit.
Dude, the wide body kits are faster. We already went over this.
We know we can confirm that with one car.
That's very
That's all
true.
we can. That's all we can confirm that on is
That's
one car. You
very
can
true.
drastically feel it.
That's very
Other
true.
cars, no idea.
Yeah, and I'm currently testing vanity tires as well. I'll probably have a video on vanity tires coming out in the next maybe, I don't know. I think maybe by the end of the weekend, probably. It's a lot to test these tires, by the way. It's a lot. Because I'm doing, basically for each vanity, I'm doing 10 runs. I'm using multiple cars, multiple tracks. I'm really trying to figure out if this is a thing or not. I personally, my opinion on vanity tires is not even remotely like, it's not a thing. I wasn't one of the people talking about it in the crew too. I've not been the person talking about it, good or bad, in Motorfest. I literally just want to figure it out. I just want to figure out if it's a thing or not.
Yeah. I've always just used what I thought looked cool.
Volkswagen Beetle Tune win. We do need to drive the Beetle.
It's true.
I think it's gonna be garbage.
I have driven it. It's a very, very slow shifting car.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's a street one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even with the body kit, it doesn't feel good.
The body kit doesn't help it shift.
That's very true.
Sadly.
Unless we didn't test it. I'm just kidding.
No.
We need to throw an engine swap in there.
Do Pro Tunes work in the Grand Race? Yes. The Pro Tunes are the only thing that works in the Grand Race.
Yes.
Like nothing, no affixes, your legend
Parts,
points, none of that stuff
nothing.
works. But Pro Tunes do.
Pro Tunes work. Yep. Yep. That is a very, very common question that we get here on the channel. Do Pro Tunes, do affixes or nitrochemist, does that work? Legendary parts, does that work in the Grand? And no. The Grand Race is literally only Pro Tunes. That's it. Eric wants to know, wait, or not being able to search livery creators by name, save favorite creators like in Forza Horizon 5. They definitely should add that ability.
Yes.
It's super annoying to try to find liveries, especially if like you have a certain player that in my case, sometimes people will make a livery for me and then I have to look for it, and it would be really nice to be able to search.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Also, they need to figure out the damn wheel color, like the rims.
Oh, it's
Why
awful.
is everything chrome?
It's
been
awful,
like that.
dude.
Was it the same in the
It's
crew
the
too? I
same
don't
in the
remember.
crew too, dude. It's the
Yeah.
same.
Why are
Awful.
all the colors chrome? You can't make anything look good.
Absolutely awful.
It's so bad.
Do I like the livery creator? So I've only done like a couple of liveries for my cars specifically, and I will say this, I think it has a lot of really neat tools to it, like the ability to go in and out of 2 and 3D mode. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, basically you can go into 2D mode, make your wrap, let's call it, like your design, and then you can then go back to 3D mode and move that entire, let's call it like a sheet of paper, let's say. You can move that entire sheet and put it where you want it on the side that you're working on. So it is really neat to be able to do that. I like how you can group different things together and create multiple groups and move everything together, or you can copy and paste an entire group. I like all that. There's a lot of really good tools in the livery editor. The one thing that I don't like, there is a bug that's really frustrating, and that is that once you make a custom, let's say like my logo, for example, I made my logo and I saved it as like a custom image. Once you make that, you can only use the first one that you've created. There's spaces for all of the other ones that you can make. There's like 27 spaces or whatever, but I've made 3 or 4 different ones. Like, you know, one that's the logo, and then one that says trigger, and one that's you know, I've got a bunch of different ones. I can only select the first one. And I was looking around online, and that's actually it's a bug basically that doesn't allow you to go over and select. So that's just something I'm complain about. But for the most part, the livery creator is pretty good. I am not a rap artist by any means, and so I guess my opinion is maybe not as valuable to answer that question. But
yeah, and I haven't messed with liveries at all in the game, so
Yeah.
I have no idea.
so Chunky
Monkey.
yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah,
ahead,
we
go
both
ahead,
read
read it.
I was
Go
just gonna
for it.
say,
Go
he
for
said,
it.
so I grinded gold parts for bucks set for nothing. If you were planning on using the gold set on your car that you're using in the grand races, then yes. But also just do like the regular playlist events. Get your bonus money from that. But yeah, none of the parts work in grand races if that's what you were doing.
Yeah. So grinding for the buck sets really only helps you in any of the PVE content, but also the summits. So like
Yeah,
that's the reason you grind for legendary parts is for the summits. Like that's the big reason why. Bob says, "Wait, really? I reported one on accident because I clicked the same button that shows the overview of the car."
yeah. Sorry, Chunky
That
Monkey.
was in response to Dan H's comment. So basically, it says they need to fix that. It only takes one person reporting a livery to get it axed. Is that a thing, Dan? Because I think when you report something, it just hides it from you.
Or does it hide it from everybody? That's crazy.
I have no idea.
Because
I have
if
no
that's
idea.
the case, then yeah, that's something that needs to be fixed. Because that's
Yeah, you can't just have one report. That doesn't make any sense.
you report something once and it just deletes it from everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Absolutely wild. I wouldn't. I would definitely change that for sure. Speaking of changes, there are none for Need for Speed Unbound, but I wanted to have some sort of transition to start talking about Unbound because Unbound just released some news not too long ago about the Volume 3 and Volume 4 stuff. And I want to get sort of your guys' take on this, but also I want to get your Steven's take on this. They are now selling the Volume 3 and Volume 4 Speed Pass rewards to people who would like to purchase it because maybe they missed out on it, they don't have it now, and they want to have I mean, honestly, it's the cars, right? It's the car is what you're buying. There's two custom cars. It's the Porsche, the little Carrera S, and then the Dodge Viper. These custom cars. You can now buy them.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what their direction is with that game or what their plan was for it, but it wasn't a good one. They took the
No.
wrong path.
Terrible.
Because, I mean, one of the things about the Speed Pass was like, oh, we have to grind this out before it ends. And like, oh, we get this Viper. And now it's like, I have this Viper in the game that nobody else can get unless they played it and got it.
Yep.
And now they're like,
Just
hey,
kidding.
you can buy it if you want it. I don't know. The whole game took like a weird turn. Like they did a lot of really good things with it. Like the game came out and it was really fun and it was good to play, but there was some issues and stuff, and they kind of fixed a little bit of it and added a little bit of content. And then we were always, on the hopes of, next season or whatever next volume, maybe they'll, keep adding it and
Right.
whatever, make it better. And then they kind of just tapered off and
Yep.
stopped providing content to the game. And yeah.
Yeah, I think what happened is once again the team at Criterion got divided and split, and part of the team had to go work on the next Battlefield, and the other part of the team was kind of left holding the bag, trying to make something of the game that most people really didn't want to play again. So it's a tough one, but it's just so classic EA, dude, to just like see a tiny window of an opportunity. That some guy behind a keyboard at EA was like, hey, we could sell those cars because now they're exclusive. They're
Yeah.
exclusive. If people didn't get them during the speed pass, now they can't get them. Dude, we could sell them. People will
Yeah.
buy that.
Just sell it.
And you know what?
They're already buying cars that are already in the game.
That's right.
They're already doing that.
Man, what
Yeah,
are
it's
they
crazy.
doing, dude? That if that game wasn't buried already, that is like the extra nail in the coffin for that.
Yeah. And then has it been confirmed that a most wanted remake is the next game? Is that a confirmed thing?
I don't think so, but it's definitely the rumor.
It's like the rumor, right?
Yeah.
That's the rumor that I've heard.
Yep, definitely.
What do you think about that?
Oh man, I think it is a mistake. I think it's a mistake to remake that game. Number one, I went back and tried to play that game. That game will get canceled today, instantly. Is super like what do you call it? What's the common phrase, like toxic masculinity or whatever? Like it's all about that. Like the girls are in like these tiny little. It would get canceled in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes.
So
Like
because
the style of
because
game. Okay.
it came out in the early 2000s, bro. Everything was like sex sells, street cars, Fast and the Furious, Vin Diesel. Like it was just, you know what I mean? Like it was in an era that was a little bit more obviously selling sex, okay? And that's what the game's like. Yeah, anyway, so I don't think they can remake it exactly one-to-one the way it is right now. They have to change something. And I think the old school, like classic, the people who just love the game and hold it on this high pedestal, I think those people are going to be like, this is not the game that we had. Like no matter what they put out, it's not going to be good enough. And that's just setting the whole entire franchise up for failure, dude.
Yeah, the bar in everybody's mind for that game is so high. Like they have to meet it. They have to meet the bar, and it just probably won't. It's gonna fall short.
Yes. If it was a remaster, I would say it's probably more likely to succeed, because that means it's the same game but just put in to like, you know, modern day graphics and things like that. But because it's being framed or rumored as a remake, which means it's just another game that's sort of like based off of that game, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. What's up, Leanne?
Leon Unleashed in the chat, baby. What's up, man?
That is indeed Stephen Militia.
That is the great Steven. That is the great Steven.
Is the SF90 worth a buy or not really? I think so. I think it's pretty fun. It's good. It understeers a little bit. It has really good acceleration. The car looks awesome.
It does look really good.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think are there better cars than that? Absolutely. But it doesn't completely suck.
Yeah, agreed. Sindri Set made a good point. Modern Most Wanted 05 remaster would be a disservice to the community. It would need a massive facelift to bring it to the to compete feature-wise with the current racing games. Agreed. Yeah, that game. The thing is, people don't think about this, but the older games are idolized because it's what you really enjoyed, like in a time where video games were like infants, dude. Video games weren't the technology of video games were so like primitive back in the early 2000s that when you got a game like Modern Warfare, Jesus, when you got a game like Most Wanted that seemingly had all of these crazy features, it just blew you out of the water. Like I played like I can't even count how many hours of Grand Theft Auto 3 I played. Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first 3D, or what do you want to call it? The first
like open world
3D like do anything game. And dude, if you go back to that game now, you're like, what in the hell was this? Like compared to now Grand Theft Auto, it's crazy. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is like you don't think about the lack of features in those games and you compare them to newer games. You know, the newer games have way more in them, and I agree 100%. I just don't think it's a smart move. I think they need to make a new game. I would love to see a Need for Speed Heat 2. That's what I think. I think if they came out with a Need for Speed Heat 2 and they based it off Heat and just cleaned it up and gave us a new map or an extension to the map, like that would be awesome. I would love to
Yeah, that'd
stay
be
in Palm
sick.
City and then have like a, you know, I don't know, a city that like goes up in those hills and has another full map that's just as big, so that the map was twice as big as the Heat map. It'd be so fun.
That would be pretty cool. Also, you brought up Grand Theft Auto, and it made me think. You were talking about how with the most wanted and how like the sex sells and this and that. With them teasing the new Grand Theft Auto 6 recently, do you think it's gonna stick to like the Grand Theft Auto roots of like super, not PC and everything's just, all the NPCs running around the map saying the most wild stuff you've ever heard? You think the new one is gonna still be on that level, and like the story, like the campaign stuff is gonna be on that level?
When did Grand Theft Auto 5 come out? It was 10 years ago?
Probably like something like that. Let's see here.
It's got to be getting close to 10. The reason I'm asking this is because
2013, yeah, 10 years ago.
13, so 10 years.
September 2013.
Okay, the reason I'm asking this is because there's an issue. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 is wild, dude. Like
Yeah.
like it's wild. It doesn't and the reason it gets a pass is because it was designed in like from like 2000 whatever 9 to 2012, right? It had this like dev cycle that started in 2009. If you remember, 2009 is like totally different than where we are right now, like politically, right? And so I think that it gets a pass because that was when it was made, and
It's
so
the
they
game.
just stuck with it, right?
And it's what everybody knows and loves too.
But over the last 5 years, let's say, we have gone through a crazy cultural, like a radical cultural change. And I don't think the same things are okay anymore. You can see it in literally every piece of entertainment, in comedy,
Yeah.
in movies, music, television, everything. There's and especially video games. I think that there's, oh man, it's tough. This is a really tough question because my heart wants to say that Rockstar is going to stay Rockstar and put out something that's wild. And if they do, mark my words, if they do, it will be the most successful game of all time. If they don't, it could flop a little bit.
It's already like one of the most anticipated games ever. I mean, so yeah, it has to hit.
It has to hit. I just hope Rockstar stays true to what Grand Theft Auto is.
Simji wants to launch the game and have the Giga lines left and right. Exactly, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Eric Robbins says, if not, it'll faceplant. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I agree. It's like the one like haven that I think gamers have, that they know it's gonna be fucked up and they're just gonna play it because it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
The main bad guy of GTA 6, Florida man.
Florida man.
Oh, that's great.
Simji needs to touch grass. The guy's stupid how fast he is. Yeah, go touch grass, Simji.
Yeah, dude.
Get off the game, dude.
Did you see? Okay, so the touch grass thing is hilarious, but did you see at TwitchCon that someone was walking around with like a patch of grass that they were like, "Here, dude, touch." It's like a sign that says "touch grass here." Dude, I was dying. That shit's funny.
That's pretty good.
I wonder what the price of the new GTA is going to be. Dude, they could price it at $5 and still make $1 trillion with that game. Literally everybody is going to buy that game.
It's going to go bananas.
I'm buying it. Like 100% I'm buying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I should make content on it. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's an angle to make content on it as a car game because it is Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot of cars in it. But I just don't think, like, I don't know. My channel is very like educational, and I don't think that I have the capacity to add a game like that in an educational format that covers all aspects of the game. I think I have to stick to the cars.
There's like 10 different versions of Grand Theft Auto content that can be made. You know what I
Agreed.
mean?
Yes.
Like there's like certain niches within the game itself that people want to watch.
Yeah, agreed. But that's where I think maybe the car content could be a thing. I just don't know. It's gonna be tough. I know 100% I'm playing it. That's
Yeah,
happening for
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
That's oh man, it's gonna be good, dude. Did y'all ever play 2015? No, I did not. I think did I start the story 2015? Did I start that on stream? No, I started Payback. Yeah, second channel called Trigger Finger. I love it.
Yo,
Love it. Digital Car Addict will take care if the car customization than GTA 6. Oh, okay.
Psycho says, I say as soon as GTA comes out, other game prices are going to go up if GTA puts their price up. Yeah, yeah, probably.
Maybe.
But they have their new engine too, though. So, I mean, if the game performs as well as they're trying to make it look,
Yeah.
it could be worth the price if
Yeah.
they enhance it. They're on like version 9 of their engine, whatever. I forget the name of their engine, but it's their own in-house engine.
Oh, it is. They built a new engine for it.
Yeah, so like each one of their games that come out, it's like a new version of their engine that they used.
Oh, I see. Hmm.
Like, did you have you seen any gameplay or played Red Dead 2?
Yes.
Like the graphics between Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, like that jump is insane.
Yeah.
And apparently they're saying the difference between like that's just because of the engine upgrade. And apparently they're saying the engine upgrade from what they did with Red Dead 2 to GTA 6 is going to be an even bigger graphic gap
Oh,
than GTA
geez.
5 to Red Dead,
Jesus.
which
We'll see.
you'll have to see because also like how do you run this game?
Yeah, exactly.
This is not going to be a game for console. Like
Exactly.
it has to be. So
Are
who
we
knows?
still gonna wait like 6 years to get into a game, like into a lobby?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Just to load your game up, dude.
Yeah, it's wild. There was a question I missed earlier. RS Boshin says, did I get platinum in the custom show with 2 likes? I did, actually. Yes, I did. I don't know if it's a PC thing or what, but I've gotten platinum every time, and I think the most number of likes I've gotten was 3.
Yeah, I got 11. That was my most ever. But yeah, I've also gotten plat every time.
Yeah,
SimG says GTA 6 shouldn't be on last gen. Yeah, I don't think it will. Last gen's gonna be gone before GTA even drops.
yeah, agreed.
Like they're teasing it at the end of this year. It's not gonna come out for another like year, guaranteed.
For sure. Yeah, at least a year. Probably not. Probably maybe 2.
Yeah, they're. I think December, right, is when they're doing the November or December. I think I don't remember. They're
Is
gonna
that
do
what they're
first, like,
shooting?
big.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
their first big like
Yes, they're gonna
trailer
reveal.
teaser thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced. Everybody knew GTA 6 was in the works. It's not a crazy announcement, but an official announcement was made right this last week.
Yeah.
Or is that the one that's going to be coming in December? I don't know. I'm kind of out
No,
of
they
it.
made an announcement about the announcement.
They confirmed the game was a thing, right? That's what they did.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's a reveal that's happening in December.
something like that. Yes, yeah. December 10th is the first trailer for it.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
what Psycho's saying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That game's gonna be probably insane.
Yeah, Dan says the custom show isn't cross-platform and PC has the least number of people who enter it. Plat is like top 10,000. So like,
So just enter a car.
yeah,
Vote for yourself.
literally just enter a car, vote for yourself. You get 1 vote that way. Don't forget to vote for yourself, dude. Johnny Blaze says, bro, Steven is hot.
Thanks, Johnny.
You spelled his name wrong, dude.
Yeah, PH is in the wrong spot.
There
bro.
you go, dude. There you go. Anyway, I think we should wrap it up here, dude. That was a great a great first podcast. We didn't know what this was gonna be, everybody. We really didn't. And you guys showed up, bro. I was expecting like 10 viewers the entire time, and just like struggle for conversation. And no, this went really well. I really I'd like to do it every week, and if we can, it'll be Wednesday nights. Just come hang out with us. Me and Steven will talk content. We'll talk I mean anything really. We talked about all kinds of stuff today, dude. Next time maybe I'll have to like bring in some of my little pizzas. I ate my last one. I ate my last one today. Stacy has a good question. I want everyone to think about this, please. This podcast involves you guys, the audience. So if anybody has a good name, you can see that we have like our logos on the screen here, and that's just a placeholder. We don't know what to call this thing. It's centered around conversations with you guys and about what you want to talk about, and just us blabbing. So give me a Lo siento, he says sorry. Yeah, give me, if anyone has a really good name for the podcast, please send me a DM or head into the Discord and send it over. Yeah, since this is a new format, definitely like the stream, please. Like the podcast. That would be great. A big up, Lando Norris.
Wayne said hashtag triggered.
Slipstream. Speed talk, Slipstream. Yeah, dude, send it to me on Discord though, because I'm about to end it right now. Gutter talk. Ted's Corner. Trigger and Smee podcast. Oh my goodness. All right, yeah, send it to me on Discord, guys. I appreciate it. And shout out to Steven, my co-host.
Yeah, thank you.
And
been fun.
I think that's it, dude. We'll talk to you guys later. We should have a regular stream Friday. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.